artilleries and leave our shores, you still got life. So thank the good Lord. Freedom is when you see the P to the O to the W, what do you see? Or do you simply have a preconceived notion of me? What kind of stereotype do you formulate? You see? Do you see a million-man marching, Barbican following, basketball player cold 45 swallowing, can't go to the side where we go to, polishing, gospel singing, dope slinging, dress shoe borrowing, public enemy number one, gang sign throwing, open shirt, hairy chest, gold chain showing, plus you always got a mom and a step diet, you always brag about the things that could have hired. Okay, true, you got basketball or run track, boxing and football and all of that. We had tennis and maybe baseball. In fact, we had hockey, not even golf. I hate diet, filthy word saying, revolver spraying, bad credit and bad check, child support paying, and I just don't like your attitude, you rude. Put it on, dig them together, some money and food. Well, is it true? Who am I to say? It's up to you. Indicated to the stereotypes. You just smooth and if it don't just screw. Cause it's just like you do. So back on your clothes along with your attitude and let me be who I am in the life. Don't make me a victim of stereotypes. Do you feel me? You know what I'm saying? So when you see a white man, all you say, hey, yo, use a Marlboro smoking, Budweiser drinking, breath always thinking, good for lynching, like your blue Flux Land man, ready to play Hangman or Zero, ready to play hero like Van Damme, and with the flaming man, Beluga who's dancing, Jeffrey Dahmer, Cuba Bomber, Syria killer like Vance and Harley Davidson, like Armor, Syria killer like Vance and Harley Davidson, white is in the back of the 4x4, the volleyball's on the floor under the surfboard. The rifle rack is in the back of the truck over which the Confederate flag is stuck shucks. The rednecks upset, he's decked in his cowboy boots and hat set. Red scarf around his neck. The tummy's hanging over, so the pants sleeves slack. Just enough to show the little crack in the bag. You know what they doing when they spitting and chewing, ready to ruin with that shotgun. Yeehaw, I got one, I aimed and I pop one. Man, he was tall, dark, with an attitude and gold tooth, a hot one. You should have seen him mad, yeah, it was sad. That's just one less runaway gang. And at the same time, I'm looking out for yours and mine, cause that's one less black on black crime. But you don't wanna hear that, and I don't wanna hear that. You do lie and lie, deny. You don't wanna hear that, please. Everything ain't peaches and cream. The witness see when you wake up in the sunbeam. It ain't right. You can fight the whole darn night, but don't make me a victim of stereotypes. Don't make me a victim of stereotypes. Be there, don't make him a victim one time. Stereotypes. Just from the P to the O to the W. Be real. One.
Wanna shout out to my man POW, MF, and that ain't that's Martin Ferdinand. From way back when we was chasing cats. Dog, I wanna let you know, POW, man, that you behind enemy lines. And like you, man, I know you can come out. You got a CIB, you don't know what that is, though. Combat infantryman's badge. And I know you gonna come out just like, I know you wounded, dog. I see your damn dog tags on the rearview mirror. I know you wounded, cat. That ain't nothing but a purple heart. You keep doing what you're doing, man, and you keep pursuing what you're pursuing. And you gonna make it happen. I'm proud of you, man.
What's up, everybody? This is Sharad. Congratulations on your CD, babe. I know it's gonna be hot to death. So do your thing, as we say in the loop. Peace.
Their warfare arrangements before heads hit the pavement. So soldier, get out of that box of psychological locks, for it's a foxhole of mental enslavement. So the question is, what are your rules of engagement?
It's too soon to die.
To the tune of a knife at full bloom. So to brief you and keep you in life's tune is whom? The commanding reinforcements from the other platoon.
I've been given the order to infiltrate the West Gate with an army of 1,378 apes. The mission is to surround the fortress and remove the current administration from office. The crime, perjury, murder in the third, second, and first degree. exploitation, falsifying high-profile documentation, killing innocent civilians by the millions, stealing trillions from tax-paying citizens, making a large profit from drugs, sex, lies, and videotapes, the unequivalent crime of serial rape. You are hereby held in the highest contempt of court, guilty of treason for all the above and then some reasons. That's why I love the trenches. That's right, I'm right. Orchestrated with the most vital tools and arrangement. While on the front line, my mind sends the messages for the rules of engagement. Gut instincts, even when the wind shifts. The target is hit, the market is split. Forced to divide and conquer. Pharaoh the thug, reordered, recorded in the basement. Power of words left them in amazement. I blaze them with 7.5 ounces. As my commander announces, half the battle has been won. The evil that men do is done. It's done.
My rules of engagement are simple. Give God attention like a dimple and pop the devil like a pimple. Cause face it, every morning before you tinkle, a pimple is temporary, but a dimple is permanent like wrinkles. So is the cup halfway full or is it halfway empty? When you think eye for an eye, do I see 20/20? Am I strategic and tactical, with movements mathematical? Impulsive, no silence, just violence and radical. Innately, I like to think the enemy hates me, but you can't make me take my weapon off safely. But if you have to, aim, send a mass and squeeze. When you riddle him with bullets, he don't have to bleed. The first shot, you gotta count, so you hit him up with love. Aim high, tell him about the man up above. Next shot, you get him off his feet, stop praying. That's around the time that the bullets start spraying. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat. Faith, hope, and charity. He's having flashbacks, life meaning needs clarity. Now he's mad at me because he's in pain and he thinks that I should let him go, but this don't have to be a tragedy. You have to die before you die, so when you die, you don't die. Cause real brothers cry. Calm it down. You can guess like Miss Cleo, or find that glitch in the Matrix like Neo. The last round in the chamber, well, you shouldn't be a stranger. Follow G, the O, the O, the O, the
Hello. My rules of engagement consist of yellow tape and chalk lines on the pavement. Psychiatrists failed to understand my behavior, but I got at least 1 million days spent in this penitentiary in slavery. Confrontation settled by black ski masks got me creeping, because you try to catch your enemy while he's sleeping. Continuous karma got us reaping what we sowing and showing what we reaping. As black queens get called out their name for not speaking, and the elders I forgot that the job was supposed to be teaching. These rules of engagement got passed in the church on Saturday mornings preaching over closed caskets. See, I chose to bring dope over shooting 3-point baskets. I couldn't do my homework from all the guns blasting, so I started taking the things without asking. And crossing me equal to eulogy, cause I can't stand to be done wrong. Partner just bumped me in his phone. Either I'll catch you alone or invade your home. I should do a die-hard battery commercial, cause I got families driving in the daytime with their lights on. And I know the general public might not understand this, but I know you gangsters are feeling me. That's probably why I'm calling you from a correctional facility. Yeah.
You have a collect call from a correctional facility.
Death row, what a brother know. They got me in the cell. They got
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Random Thoughts with DvP. Are we live? I'm still getting used to this telephone thing. I'm still getting used to it. Yes, sir. We are live. We are live. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Random Thoughts with DvP. Oh, man, I ain't even got my phone out, so I know what the day is. What my calendar. I know what the day is, dog. I mean, I know it's Tuesday, but I don't ever know, like, the 13th. It's the 13th. It's Tuesday. We're here the 13th, 2015. And we are live with Random Thoughts with DvP, and I'm your super host, DvP, along with my super duper producer, Roy, the hitman in. So, and we still getting adjusted to this Tuesday thing. So, you know, we doing what we do. We're gonna make it work. So, you know, as usual, as we start off, what's going on, super producer?
Oh man, just trying to pull some things together, dog. It's been a hectic week this week. You know what I'm saying? It's been kind of moving in. Like I say, the first part of the new year is always a rough one, trying to get everything in place and make stuff happen. So that's about it. Just been hectic, but productive.
That's what's up. As long as we talking making money, right? We talking making money without robbing banks.
You said if I did what? Now without robbing banks? I'm sorry.
I said we talking making money without robbing banks. My mama told me I couldn't rob no banks this year, so I had to put that on hiatus.
Yeah, that would be something we probably don't need to do too much of, is robbing no banks. Yeah.
Yeah. She frowns upon that. She expressed her concerns about me doing this, so I told her I wouldn't do it.
But okay, good. I don't need you taking me there with you.
Yeah, but man, this year's been unlike most, man. This year to date has been really, really hectic. I mean, in a good way. I mean, I had some opportunities come my way, and it looks like it's gonna be pretty good. But sometimes things comes a little too fast and furious, and you ain't prepared for everything that's coming. But you gotta make it happen anyway.
Yeah, you gotta suck it up and keep it moving.
Right, you know what I'm saying? You can't let them see you sweat. So people throwing stuff at me, so I'm trying to take it in like a champ and act like I'm the man, calm my dumb. Even though, as William Bell said in his song, sometimes I need to be 3 of me. I don't need to be 2, I need to be 3. I need 1 to work, 1 to sleep, and 1 to hustle.
Okay.
But other than that, man, everything going smooth. Trying to keep up with get the show on the road before we get started, because I know we're gonna talk about this at least 2 more times. What's going on in 2 Tuesdays? Let's get that in right quick so we make sure we keep hitting on that.
Oh yes, sir. We doing the She Said He Said relationship series is gonna be coming up live from Mango's Caribbean Restaurant. We're gonna lay that thing down, have a little fun, let yourself along with a couple of other gentlemen. Mr. M.L. Jackson, an actor, he actually appeared in No Good Deeds. And also, we're going to have our boy Carlin from Soul Cartel, professional singer, is going to come out and be on that panel as well. We're working on some other folks, and we're going to see what the deal is. Dr. Passion is going to be there.
Oh, really? Hold on. You thought Carlin to come?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's my dude there now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Colin's going to be there. So
yeah,
like I said, it's gonna be all right now. Yeah, I'm looking at that conversation being a real good one. We're pushing and getting the ladies to come on out, let them, ask. They get to ask you gentlemen their questions.
Tell them don't be scared.
Oh, hey, that's what we've been saying. I tell them, I said, ain't no holds barred. Nothing but the truth, the raw. So don't ask it if you really don't want the answer.
We gonna give it to them.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't want to know, don't ask.
That's right.
Cause this ain't the military. Don't ask, don't tell. If you ask, we tell.
So it's gonna get put out there. So you better legitimately want to know.
Yeah, legitimately. This ain't what we're gonna sugarcoat stuff. If you ask the question, we're gonna put some stuff out there, let y'all know what, as y'all say, what real men thinking. We're gonna discuss that whole issue of real men, because I got a problem with that. And somebody, my partner up in North Carolina put it best. So I'm gonna have him on the show. And he was talking about real men and real women, and I liked some of the things he said. So I ain't gonna rain on his parade. I'm gonna let him do his thing, and I'm gonna let him talk about his post.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's but so you know what? Let me get started on something, because I know I'm gonna have to do this once a quarter. One of the random thoughts that's on my mind.
Okay.
And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I was a black man before I was a cop. And I'm a black man since I've been a cop. And I saw a video last night, and it disturbed me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody likes crooked cops. Nobody. Okay? I just want to get that out there first. I just need to get that out there. Hey, you know what? I need to do something right here. Can we take a quick break? I need to take a phone call right quick. Can we get a quick commercial break? I need like 2 minutes.
We can take a quick break, brother. Go ahead and do your thing, and we are going to get the music started. I got it cranked back up here, so we'll get that going, and you do your break.
I appreciate it.
Atlanta. Guess what? We're back! Hey ladies, make sure you join us Tuesday, January 27th, live from Mango's Caribbean Restaurant for the start of our She Said, He Said relationship discussion. We kick off the series with a panel of professional, single, mature men ready to answer any and all questions that you may have. No holds barred, no games, no representatives, just the hard truth. We'll also have certified relationship and sex counselor Linnea Buckhalter, a.k.a. Dr. Passion, giving her insight on what makes these guys tick. So come on out to 180 Auburn Avenue, Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, Tuesday, January 27th at 6:30 p.m. We'll hear what she said and what he said. Don't forget to sign up for your Urban Passport at myjbn.com. That way you're eligible for contests and discounts all night long. So we'll see you Tuesday, January 27th at Mango's Caribbean Restaurant. For She Said,
I'm trying to get this website done, and it is driving me crazy.
So why don't you check out designsbyrachelle.com?
Designsbyrachelle.com? What is that?
Only one of the best design companies on the net. They specialize in new and small businesses as well as ministries.
Well, that sounds good, but we need some serious stuff done, and I need to stay on budget.
They have top-notch web design and development, as well as print and graphic designs at a reasonable price.
So they can handle all our website as well as all of our email and print ads? Wow, what's that site again?
Designsbyrachelle.com. That's Designsbyrachelle.com. You won't be sorry, and then you can focus on more important parts of your business, like making money.
Well, that sounds great. Designsbyrachelle.com.
Welcome back to Random Thoughts with DvP. DvP? Did I come back too early? Well, maybe I did. So what that is, hey, y'all welcome back. We're going to stay here on the line until he gets back in.
All right, okay, I'm back.
Oh, there he is. Okay. I was like, I thought I heard him come back.
Who you got on the phone, Roy? Hey, I'll be down in a few minutes. Who you got on the phone?
I don't have nobody on the phone, D.
Oh, I thought you was talking to somebody.
I'm talking to you. You the host. You okay? You the center of attention, dog. Come on, man.
Oh, okay, I thought I heard somebody. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, I've been a black man, and I saw this video last night, and once again, it's this whole thing about cops. And I'm so tired of us, you know, people say, oh, we not the victims, we not this. But when I see cops now, I'm scared, I'm this. And cops, white people, whoever it is you want to blame your misfortunes on, are not the biggest killers of black. And if you ain't scared of black people, quit giving me all this other stuff. You make a post about you don't respect cops. So if you don't respect cops, no way, then what is it? You already don't like them. So what's your point? But don't keep acting like everybody else is doing something to your race except for your race. That is just driving me crazy. And nobody wants to accept that responsibility, but we always want to blame somebody else. Oh, the cops, this, the government, that. Once again, whenever we as a race have shootings in the neighborhood, we don't boycott the dope boys, we don't want to kill, we don't want to do nothing. But let somebody else come in and kill one of us, and all of a sudden, we want the feds to come in and do something. Well, straighten up your own neighborhood. Take responsibility for what's yours and stop expecting everybody to do it for you. If you don't want to call the cops, that's your prerogative. If you don't want to call the fire department, that's your prerogative. But don't act like cops are the ones who all of a sudden doing something, because I guarantee most people who've been pulled over have survived the traffic stop.
Yeah, right.
The cops may not always be polite because you don't know what's going on, and they may not be. But they're human. They ain't no better or worse than nobody else. They just agree to do something that most people don't want to do. And yeah, there are bad cops. They're bad priests. They're bad kids. They're bad parents. There's bad everything. I mean, how many times have we seen what parents do stuff to kids? Does that mean we don't trust parents now? And that's who you're supposed to trust more than anybody else. So I'm frustrated with this whole, I hate all cops because cops do this. And if you told 1,000 people have been pulled over by a cop, out of that 1,000, ask them how many people do they know personally who got killed or even beat up for no reason by cops.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. I would say that's the problem we run into, man. Where everybody, whenever you lump an entire group of people in, you're always going to have those issues. You're always going to have a situation where you're doing or saying it's not right, because you're never going to have 100% of anybody. So no, 100% of cops aren't bad. I wouldn't even say the majority of cops are bad.
I wouldn't even say 10% are bad. I mean, it's like anything else.
Not go that far.
Yeah, it's like anything else. When you get one bad one, that one bad one is just it's exponential. It's kind of, I would say that most preachers aren't bad, but if you hear about 12 preachers, consider how many churches there are in America. 12 is probably not even 1%. I mean, we hear about Catholic preachers all the time, but you normally hear about one or two. It doesn't mean the whole Catholic race is like that, but when you'll hear about one or two priests, you hear about one or two cops, and all of a sudden we make a generalization. Like I said, I work for a sheriff's department. We have 1,000 people. So if you look at 10% of us, that's 100. Let's just use my agency as a representative for the whole United States of America. Have you heard about 100 cop shootings? So if one agency that's 1,000 people can't make up 10%, think about how many cops there are really. So even if you come up with 100, I guarantee you cops probably in the numbers, we probably somewhere close to the million. So you probably can't even find it's probably around 1% that are truly bad. When you look at raw numbers. The same thing with priests or anything else. So I just want us to move on to something else. If you're not going to be, and it's like one of the greatest lessons I ever learned. Anybody can come up with a problem. Don't bring me a problem unless you got a solution for it. And as long as we don't want to take responsibility, it's going to always be a problem because people know they can prey on us. And let me rephrase that. We know we can prey on each other because we have a stigma about, I ain't going to snitch, I ain't going to tell the cops. And eventually we're gonna play one of my favorite pieces. But it is what it is, and we don't want to acknowledge that. Or when it come up, we want to say, it's something else. It's systematic this, it's systematic that. And it's not systematic. You came from Florida. The cops are what they are in Florida. I mean, cops will harass cops. Cops harass cops up here. I've been harassed by cops. Ain't no cop never shot at me. But I don't put myself in them shoot positions either. And like the what is it? Is it Chris Rock video where he said don't do dumb shit?
How not to get beat up by the police?
Yeah, quit doing dumb shit. I mean, oh yeah, I'm this. It's my right to do this, but it's not your right to do stupid shit. Not anything. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. And it too many times we just want to take the easy route, and it's always easy to blame somebody else for our shortcomings as opposed to saying, let's stand up for each other. When you see somebody doing something wrong, let's address them. How many times have you seen these young boys, they draw showing? Underwear everywhere. You don't want to see that, but at some point you get tired of saying something to them. But, yeah. And is it illegal? No, it's not illegal. But does everybody do it? It's a precursor to somebody who's trying to be something that they're not. And that's what cops operate on. They go for people who are out of the norm. It's not normal for people to walk around with their pants. I don't care how many young boys do it. It's not the norm. Because now you're trying to be something. And I hate to say this, I want to say most parents don't condone it, but then most parents do.
Yeah, it's a lot of them out there that do it, or that do condone it. So, let's put it this way: whether they condone it or not, they don't deter it. They don't tell them not to do it. Let me put it that way.
So, you want us to police your community and make it safe? People want to tell you stuff and they want you to do something about it. Like I saw something about, my cousin or niece or somebody was having a schizophrenic attack, and the police ended up shooting her. Why did you call the police? Because she was threatening to kill everybody. And, people don't want to take into consideration, if you couldn't talk to your relative while they was having this attack and they start threatening to kill everybody, there's a reason you called the police in the first place, because you couldn't handle it. You couldn't handle it. So what makes you think, I don't care what training you think I got, what training do you think that says I can just stay alive knife and I'm going to be cool with that? Because I'm going to tell you a point. We don't get trained to be stabbed by knives. It just don't happen. I don't know what you saw on T.J. Hooker, or I don't care what you saw on Law and Order SVU. We don't get trained to get stabbed. All this grabbing the shirt and wrapping it around my wrist and punching her 2 times in the jaw, and she dropped the knife, and then we jump on her. See, that's not realistic. So understand this: when you call us, what you said in essence to me when I arrive on the scene, is this something that you can't handle? Because it's 3 or 4 of y'all, and none of y'all want to get cut by the knife. But guess what? Y'all don't care to get cut by it. Y'all want me to do something. What am I supposed to do? She still got a knife in my hand. She's still threatening to cut people. You want me to talk to her? Well, she's having a mental anxiety attack. She's not comprehending what I'm saying. I can give her all the proper verbal commands. Ma'am, drop the knife, drop the knife. First of all, let me tell you something. If she's got a knife, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have a gun in my hand. That's the rules. 1 step above whatever the threat is. 1 step above. So you put us in precarious positions because you think we Dr. Phil. I don't know what it is you're thinking. But quit saying stuff that has no balance to it. You know what I'm saying? Look at the big picture and tell me what you think. You think my family want me to get stabbed defending some strange people? Well, you think people want to come to my funeral because I didn't respond accurately enough because I kept trying to talk to somebody who has already said they want to kill me. They'll kill whoever come near them. And my thing is, I'm just so tired of people saying it, especially these stupid dope boys. Man, the police stole my dope, dude. Dude, shut up, just shut up. If he stole your dope, go report it. And if you're not willing to report a bad cop, then shut up again. Oh, y'all protect each other. No, we don't. I mean, I could tell you in my career, fortunately, I don't care how people look at it. I got 2 cops locked up because they were doing stuff that was shady. And I'm sorry, it was illegal. I'm not that guy. If you do it and I find out, I'm telling, because I don't want you around. It's just like when I found the dope boys in my neighborhood. Oh, I'm telling. You ain't finna be around me and my kids. Say what you want to, but you ain't finna just set up shop because, hey, what's my loyalty to you again? Oh, 'cause we black? Oh, 'cause you struggling? Okay, well, as y'all always say, go sell it to the white man. I'm not trying to hear it. And so if you're not gonna be like the thing says, if you ain't part of the solution, then you are part of the problem. So if you're sitting around there and you keeping these things a secret because you don't want to snitch, or I ain't telling on this, somebody break in your house or they rob you or they shoot your kids by mistake, then shut up. Just say, you know what, I asked for this because I ain't doing nothing about it and I knew what was going on. That's all you can say. I knew it. I didn't want to fix it, so I'm good with whatever happened. Because that's exactly what you're saying. Oh, I didn't answer nothing wrong. Yes, you did, because the whole time they was doing something, as long as it was somebody else, you was cool with it. As long as you and the dope boy was aces, you was cool, whatever was going on. But the minute he fell out with you, or he got replaced by a dope boy whose cook you wasn't in, now that's the issue. Those are personal choices. Because he ain't doing it in my neighborhood. Not at all. Not even a little bit. And that's why I just don't get why it is we try to make such a big issue about cops, about the government, about teachers, about everybody else who's trying to make a change, but all you want to do is cry and whine. Oh, well, what am I supposed to do? You got a phone. Just like you put everything on Facebook, just like you put everything on Instagram, go and make a phone call. Because I'm so, you know what I'm saying? And when you look at it, World Star Hip Hop, TMZ, every time you look at one of them videos, and well, I know you don't watch a lot of TV, but you are on Facebook, and I ain't been on there that much lately. How many times you got white Facebook friends? Yeah.
Don't even say it, because I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna stop you because I was literally. Let me see if we think of the same thing. I was really curious about asking my white friends how many, because my thought is, well, maybe I just don't see them because I don't have a whole bunch of white friends, but how many videos of white people fighting or of deviant behavior do we see them posting on Facebook? I really am curious about that. Because the only ones I have seen, I've seen a couple of trailer park folks, the rednecks going at it. I've seen a couple of those, but nothing to the level what we put out there. Like you said, like a World Star Hip Hop that got a whole regularity. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every week you can see it. When we doing dumb stuff, we doing illegal stuff every week, every day, and it's not one or two. I mean, even like with the Bill Cosby thing, how many white people posted Bill Cosby memes or whatever you call them, memes? I don't know what you call them.
Yeah, I don't know.
But when something happened with the white government stuff, did you see a bunch of white stuff popping up? Because they don't sit around and wait for each other to fall to start degrading them like we do. And that's a purely ethnic issue. And we'll blame everybody for it, but we're the greatest knocker downers of each other. By far. Like I say, when Obama won, you saw the little things with him in the sidekick, everybody saying, oh yeah, my nigga in the office. Why? Really? Really? You got a black president and he can't even get inaugurated for y'all calling him your nigga. Really? Here we go. Because that's who we are, but then once again, we want everybody else to treat us with respect, but we don't respect each other. And once again, for people who listen or who may hear this of course doesn't apply to everybody. Because I would say that most of us respect each other, but it's like anything else. The few that don't are the ones who get the most attention, because that's how society goes. Yeah, and that's how society goes. Yeah, right. But that's my thing with bad cops, bad preachers, bad teachers, bad whatever. Once you find one or two, they ride it into the ground. So it's not that many. It's just that once they get one, so many people love to find negative stuff in other people that's all they ride on. Oh, I got something I can fuss about. Oh, I got this. Oh, yeah. See, I told you that. I told you they was dirty. I told you this. I told you that.
But I'm gonna say this, and this is like I said, I don't know. I think, unfortunately for me, Unfortunately for me, I will say I think this is one of the things I disagree with you on. I disagree that it's at 1%. I think you got more negative and bad cops out there than that, and I'm gonna tell you why, because it's actually something that kind of came up for me this last weekend. You know, I went to see. It's funny because I went to see Selma on Friday, and I was thinking about the fact that the situation that happened in Selma wasn't but 50 years ago, and we have to remember that's still in our lifetime. There were people out there who were close to my age, maybe 3 or 4. You know, these are the parents of the people who perpetrated that same act in Selma, Alabama, who were still teaching their kids to be, you know, black people bad, you know, nigga, whatever. You know, they were spewing that. That's that first generation hate. That's not you hearing. That's not you going over to granddaddy house, you know, for the holidays, or him coming over the holidays and you hearing it. That's you being at home hearing that and growing up and being taught that. So our generation of people are the ones who were the children of those people. So to me, that said that, you know, it kind of brought something home to me. Said it's still a lot of that out there, and the reality is a lot of those cats have gotten into law enforcement in different areas. Now, I think that you will end up with situations. I think when you get to bigger cities, like when you talk about in Atlanta, when you talk about in Miami, you know, your New Yorks and stuff like that, I think you get those pockets of bad cops where your numbers are right. You may have 1,000 cops in a borough, and you may have 20 or so bad ones. You know, you may have up to 5%, or, you know, 3 to 5% of them may be bad. But they're going to get, the problem is that, you know, that's going to get compounded. But then you got areas like a Ferguson, Missouri, like a Sanford, Florida, which is not too far from a Gainesville, you know, these little small towns where they were really just, I mean, you know, they're very racist areas where white people, again, just 50 years ago, was like, these niggas don't need nothing, you know, kill them, beat them, do whatever. So I think that's the problem that you get, because like you said, to your point again, that's who gets noticed. Those are the ones that are always going to get the publicity. You know, like I've seen the one video of the cop in South Carolina. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a cop. Some regular citizen rolled up to this one cop and gave him like $600, $500 worth of gift cards. It was like, dude, I want you to just ride around and give these out to people who are doing the right thing. Somebody driving the speed limit, pull them over and give them a $50 gift card. So he had broken them up into like $50 gift cards and stuff. And so I saw that video, but of course it didn't have, it may have had 100,000 shares, but it didn't have the 3 million shares or the, you know, 1.5 million shares that you're going to get with the negative video of the cop beating up on somebody.
Right, because it's not inflammatory, which is what people want. I mean, you don't see, I did shot with a cop for probably like 10 years. There's no media for that. There's no media for a shot with a cop. And we're not the only agency to do it, but we do it every year. There's no media for that. None whatsoever. Because who cares? It's like we only want to talk about y'all when y'all doing stuff we don't like. And once again, I'm gonna go back to the 1% because, like I said, Roy, if you just use my department and its core group of 1,000, how many incidences can you find? 100 incidences, which would be 10%. And we're just talking about with my department, and we'll use my numbers for across the country. So let's say if there's 1,000 officers for all 50 states, can you still come up with 10%? And then we look at it in real world terms, that it's probably at least, if you do 1,000 times 50, which is how many states it is, That's 500,000. So is it at least 5,000 of these incidences, which is why I can stick with less than 1%. Because when you look at the raw numbers, there's no way that it's even comparable.
But see, you know what? Here, and this is the thing. Because hold on. Because just like the quote unquote law that's being passed, the issue is it's got to be reported. And I think what we have to remember, we're so used to this. Like, you're from Atlanta, but there are so many little small towns around, and these little small pockets. You know, there's still thousands of those. I mean, literally in this country, where you've got, you know, the town may have 4,000 or 5,000 people in it. You know, you got colleges that's bigger than most of these towns. And those are the places where a lot of stuff happened. I mean, I remember when I was just traveling back and forth to Atlanta for work, you know, with my business in the early 2000s. And it got to the point where I literally, when I would do the bypass, the 475 bypass, you know, I would have to call somebody and be like, dude, I'm going through, Forsyth County? And then I'm, you know, okay, I'm out. I'm just about in Atlanta now. You know, I'm having to let people know that I need, you know, that I'm in an area where people dying, brothers dying, and I have to be able to for myself to be able to say, okay, hey, this is where I'm at. If y'all ain't heard from me in an hour, somebody need to come looking for me. You know, when you have areas like that, and I'm gonna tell you something. I've had situations where when we were going to some of these HBCUs in Mississippi and Alabama, Mississippi and Alabama, where literally, and we leave a major city, and they say, "Where y'all headed to?" We tell them where we're going. They said, "Let me tell you something. Don't stop in this city, or this city on the highway." They were like, "Make sure you gas up. If you can gas up now, do it and go straight through." I shouldn't be hearing stuff like that. That there's cities in this country that I can't go through.
You're right, and this is what you don't understand. And see, because I actually worked in Forsyth County, and this is the funny thing. I'm sorry, the city of Forsyth. No, Forsyth County, and I actually worked there. This is what we don't get as a race. You know, they don't just do it to us; they do it to everybody. White people just don't complain about it, but when you see, it's so crazy because a lot of towns are like where they got the Dukes of Hazzard, where the cops pick on the same regular white people, and they treat them horribly. They treat them horribly. It is so comical how bad they treat some of them, but they accept it because it's part of the life they lead, and they expect it. So when people say, "Oh, these towns they hate black people," well, and I don't know how many rednecks you know, but I actually know a few. Most rednecks hate anybody who's doing something they don't like. It's just pronounced against blacks because we complain more. But the white people who get this same shot of treatment, go to some of these little bit of towns and actually go to the jail. I guarantee you there's some white guys who just been there because they locking up drunks like they do in Mayberry. I mean, blacks get a raw deal, but everybody's getting a raw deal. If you're a lawbreaker, everybody gets the same shitty treatment. Everybody. White people just don't complain about it because they like, you know what? We were doing some stupid shit that we shouldn't have been doing. It's my bad. And that's what they accept. And that's why to me it's so comical because we only see it from our perspective. But I guarantee you, if you go to any of these little small towns that we afraid of, it ain't the majority of us that's in the jail. I went to Paducah, Kentucky. And I wanted to go to their jail because there were no black people. And I was like, man, I know y'all got, dude said we got 4 black people in our jail. Our jail is 98% white. So I never heard that. But the town was white. So yeah, when you got 4 black people, they complain, it sounds like a lot. But you got a jail with 600 people, and out of 600, 1% ain't even black. So when I'm listening to these black guys complain, well, please believe, I done heard 520 white guys complain. But most times, because we don't know that side of the fence, we only worried about us, we don't look at a bigger picture and see that it's actually more people who complaining because we don't know that part of the story. But it's not, trust me, it's not just a black thing. When you got these towns where you got these racists and rednecks, once you, if your position of authority is what determines your status in your mind, you're not racial. You're just how it happened. And that's what a lot of people, they don't understand. 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 They don't misunderstand. A lot of these cops are just power happy. It has nothing to do with black. It's just that we make ourselves more pronounced because we'll go through these little towns, and like you said, you call somebody and let them know. But in reality, how many times did you get stopped and pulled over?
Oh no, dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. I have been pulled over. I mean, I did an exorbitant amount of driving though. So I probably I'm what do they call it? I'm atypical because I was literally on the road every weekend. You know, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. I'm on the road going through these small towns, and I mean, so that's why I said I agree with you to a lot. I believe that most of the people are power hungry. I do believe that. I believe that most of the bad cops that you get are power hungry people who a lot of times were the cats in school that were picked on. You know, they was the little short dude. You know, I don't know how many Napoleonic complex having police officers that I've met before. You know, for all my guys who are under 5'5", well, the ones I know ain't really like that. But you know, these cats that are under 5'5" that have issues with everybody because they got picked on and stuff while they were in school. So I will give you that. But I'm telling you that I know for a fact that because I've dealt with it and I've seen it more than once, where I have been pulled over and I have been terrified even at the conversation that the police officer was having. Because
that's my point, and that's what I want from you. Because that's what I want from you. That at what point did they threaten your life? Don't get me wrong. There's some crappy cops out there, but the point is that when we get pulled over, you made it out of all those situations.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that part. Yeah.
And let me tell you another part of the myth. A lot of times, it's not that short guy who's the one who's the most trouble. You know who it is? It's the fallen athlete because he's used to being somebody important, and when he didn't make it to college and to the pros, he's stuck in his hometown because he never got the education because he thought he was going to be the all-star athlete, and he couldn't make it, and he became a cop, and he still want to be the man, but he's not the big man anymore. And a lot of times, that's who it is. It's not the little bitty guy with no power. Because when you see these people who getting beat up most of the time, it's by a bigger guy. It's not by some little 120-pound guy who has an attitude. These are big guys. And most of these big guys used to be somebody back in the day. And when they grew up, they lost that. So they became cops to regain that power edge. Look at the ones who are the most abusive. They are bigger guys. And they've always been big guys. But what happened was, like I say, they were big guys. They was the big man on campus.
Right.
But now they're not.
You know, we ain't gave out the phone number yet. Hey, that's, you know, we need to do the phone number.
Try to do the phone number.
If anybody wants to call in, 678-701-3738. That is 678-701-3738. You can get in on the discussion. I don't know if Ray listening or not. You know, she said she was supposed to get a personal invitation. That was my bust. I'm running behind a little bit, you know, kind of tied up. I forgot to give Ray her personal invite. So she said she ain't going to support no more. So I told her, I said, Ray, don't be like that, baby girl. Don't be like that.
So, you know. But we ain't going to stay on it. Like I said, I just saw that and it was just, you know, it was like, you know, we had this conversation. And like I said, it was like the last live show we did when Brother wanted to tell all this stuff that he knew to be true, but he could come up with nothing to prove other than he knew it or the streets is saying. Dude, once again, you repeating stuff that other people saying. If you don't know firsthand, then don't repeat it. But you know all this stuff. I know
the problem. Yeah, I think that's one of the, to me, and see that, you know, that is one of the biggest problems that I do have with stuff that we do. It's too much secondhand and thirdhand information that we're pulling from. And I tell people, one of the things that you got to realize that, especially in today's media-hungry society, you've got to be very careful of the information that you put out as the gospel when you don't know everything that's happened. You know, you
remember when I said it.
Go ahead.
Remember when I told him we the biggest perpetrators of misinformation, and we always claim it under a fact issue that it's not. Because at the end of the day, it come back that we heard. And then by the time we heard it for the 14th person, it's been embellished so much, and we try to pass it off as a fact. Because you know what I'm saying? For everybody who knows somebody's been pulled over by a cop or whatever, I need to know how many people can actually say, I know somebody who got beat up or shot or somebody stole something from us. Not what you heard. Do you know somebody personally that this happened to? Because when people say, oh, yeah, they was doing this, and my friend said he wasn't doing nothing. Well, he rode through this little bit of town with his music up loud. He did something. Now, it may not rise to the level of what you want, but you're not a cop. And when you got cops who ain't got nothing to do, they do find little things. When you ride through with your tail light out, that's a violation of the law. Right. So whatever your something is that you wasn't doing, I'm going to stick to the basic fact that most cops are lazy. Most of us are lazy. And because you can't joke about us always being at Crystal Cream and say we always harassing people. Pick one fight. You can't have it both ways. Yeah, but there are times we bored and need something to do, and very few times do we just pick people at random. Whether you speed and whether it's 1 mile over the speed limit or 50 miles over the speed limit. Once you go 1 mile over, you're breaking the law, period. Now, you may think, oh, I thought y'all give a 5 mile hour break. Some cops do, some give a 10 mile hour break. That's an individual discretion kind of thing. But most of the time, something happened to get our attention. And when you tell the story, everybody says the same thing. Oh, I wasn't doing nothing. He just pulled me up. I guarantee you, he didn't just pull you up because you weren't doing nothing. Because everybody wasn't doing nothing. So he could have found something else to do.
Right.
And that's my whole issue when people keep saying rhetorical shit and trying to make it as a fact. And then when people repeat it like it's a real fact, dude, what you're saying makes no sense. But you saying, oh, this. So when you pass along the story gets more and more convoluted each time it's told because everybody's saying the same thing. I mean, even with, like I said, I was with Fulton County. Even with the Elamine shooting. And I had to listen to everybody talk about how it was a conspiracy. Oh, I bet he didn't shoot them cops. Really? You got a dead cop and a cop who was wounded pretty bad. And you saying you don't think he did it, you think the government did it because they had a beef with Elamine. Elamine, at that point, was nobody. Nobody remember H.R. Brown. Nobody was talking about H.R. Brown. But you so convoluted in your thinking that you want to make everything a conspiracy that you don't like. You don't do no research, because anybody who did research would have knew that he was selling drugs over in the neighborhood anyway. But because you have a theory that you can't prove, oh yeah, they're always trying to keep a black man down. Well, let me just, and I hate to say this to most of us, the government don't care about most of us because they know we're not a threat to anything. We're not going to take over nothing because we don't vote, we don't read. So really, we're not at the top of their list. We don't have enough power, influence to be threats to what they want to do. And we don't want to accept that. Oh yeah, the man always trying to keep me down. Well, you make $14,000 a year. What does he keep you from doing? What does it keep you from doing one more time? Just give me a clue. What is it that you possess that he needs so bad that he's gonna focus on you?
Well, like I said, man, it's definitely as the thing goes. This is one of those few cliches that I'll use. There definitely are levels to this stuff, and it's different in different situations. Because I mean, it's very interesting. Like I'm gonna use the Ferguson. I'm gonna use the Ferguson situation as an example. There were guys. I met one of the young cats who was literally on the ground with this whole Ferguson situation. He was from Ferguson. He lives down there and stuff. And he came up here for a thing, and I had a chance to sit and talk to him. And the thing for me is that this is what should happen when something like this in your community happens. Because Buddy started off telling, he's like, dude, I'm just a cat from the streets. He's like, I didn't have, he's like, I didn't come in with all this, he's not college educated, the kid's like 19, maybe 20. He's doing his thing, he was working, doing whatever. But the situation is that you now see how the system is handling you, but the system is handling you because you're not a part of the system. And he was like, yo, I gotta do different and do better at this point. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I know if I want to make something a little different from this here, I've got to go out and then start doing something different. I've got to be in a different frame of mind than the one that I'm in now. Because me being in the frame of mind that I'm in now ain't getting me nowhere.
Right, which goes back to being a grown man. If you want something different, you got to do something different. And you from Florida. I'm from the hood. We could have followed the path of all our friends and stayed. We could have stayed hood. But at some point, you got a person want to do better. I listen to some of my friends who I left behind. You know, they don't like cops because cops stop them from doing their illegal deeds. But they don't want nothing out of life. I could have chose that same path and hated people for all the wrong reasons because I want to do some dirt. Why these cops bothering me? Well, I ain't doing nothing right now. But they seen me before doing stuff. And we don't want nothing, and wanting something is part of the problem with us because we don't uplift each other. And big brothers, big sisters is not a big deal in our community anymore. So a lot of times we don't have any positive role models, and some of us are so sorry. We won't even look on YouTube and find one because you can Google anything now. But as opposed to, we're so afraid of success that we won't try nothing to get us out of where we are. We're just going to stay in the same environment because it's what's comfortable. It's comfortable for me to be 35 trying to date a 10th grader because she can't turn me down, she don't know better. And that's what you see in the hood because it's comfortable. I mean, everybody has the same basic opportunity. It's what you do with it. School is free for everybody for the first 12 years. And you can go to school and learn a little something and keep progressing. Or you can go in there and you can fuss, oh, why I need math, why I need art, why I need this, why I need that. You don't need shit. You can just sit there and stay with Ray, stay 20 deep to a house and, you know, keep rolling blunts and smoking and drinking and not having a job because you don't want to work for the government and paycheck. Whatever crazy-ass reason you got, keep doing them. But don't get mad at me because I chose, you think you's a special nigga. You ain't like, I'm not like y'all. Because I don't want to do what y'all doing. I don't like 14-year-old girls. I don't like no teenage girls. I want a woman close to my own age. I like, you know what I'm saying? I like being able to go to the house and cut the lights on and knowing that they're going to work. I like having stuff in my refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? But we so scared of success that we take the path of least resistance, and that's just in staying with what we know. I want to keep the same group of friends. I mean, well, look at you. I guarantee you, truth be told, what's up? Some of your friends, when you grew up, are still in the same neighborhood, not doing shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know,
and that's what they want to do.
Right.
And you know, all of them ain't have to. Some of them secretly hating on you. Oh, because, no, you ain't like us no more. Oh, you this. Oh, you work for the man now. Oh, yeah, you. Dude, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Get a life. If working for the man means I can move up out the hood, guess what? I'm going to work for the man.
Right.
It's about moving up and moving on, and most of us just don't want that. Most of us as a race don't want it. We prefer to be sorry, shiftless, and shameless and blame everybody else for it because wouldn't nobody give me a chance. So I didn't want to go to school. I wanted to be a bomb, but I wanted somebody to give me a chance. I mean, like I got my. Go ahead.
Well, I will say this because I used to do I have this program that I used to do at the juvenile detention centers in Florida. I was actually contracted with the state of Florida through my program. It was called Choices, and that was one of the things that we did. That I would physically go into the juvenile centers and talk to these young guys about the choices they made, and that was one of the conversations that I did have with them. Now, the funny thing is, or ironic, I wouldn't say funny. The ironic thing for me is, I didn't realize, it was interesting for me because I didn't realize technically how bad my neighborhood was until I left West Palm Beach. Well, no, and I'm talking about when I'm in Tallahassee and I'm working for the Urban League. I'm hearing people at the FDLE, and I'm sitting in a meeting with law enforcement people from all across the state. And the subject is S Avenue in Riviera Beach, Florida, which is where I grew up. Them the streets that I ran growing up. And
right.
The one thing I can say is that when I did go home, and this is, we talked about, I think we talked about this on the show before because everybody want to be a quote unquote gangster. And I don't think these young cats realize what the actual role of a gangster was in those days, you know.
Because the
And how we
gangster was
talk about
actually a
the fact
good
that
thing.
gangsters, yeah, well, right. They took care of the neighborhood. They took care of the people. They just like you even said, they policed themselves. You never, back in those times, you didn't hear about crimes against old people and crime against children. Because the gangsters, as they say, didn't allow that kind of stuff. And so, you know, I'm sitting here listening to all this stuff, but like I could tell people, whenever I went home and my boys were still out on the street, a lot of my homies, you know, was still out on the corner, I'd go out and yell, yo, dog, what's happening? How's it going here? And the first thing, if something getting ready to pop off, they'd be like, Roy, it's time for you to go, dog. You know, we got some stuff getting ready to happen. Because they will always say the same. And I asked them, because I asked them one time, and I said, dude, why y'all all... We want to see somebody from here do better. And see, that's the difference that we have now. We don't... People don't want to see other people, even if it's doing better than them, they just don't want to see people doing better. You know, it's like, no, I'm in the mud, you in the mud with me, you know.
So, them the biggest crybabies because as soon as you catch one of them, and I can speak from personal experience, as soon as you catch one of them, the first thing they do is start telling. Because, hey, man, we boys, we go just about myself. And you know, so it ain't even the same mentality. Everybody want to be a gangster to the shooting star. Then everybody becomes a bitch. Everybody's a bitch at that point. Because they telling everything. You ain't even got to ask a question, Roy. All you got to do is, when you walk the door, they telling. I can't cut the record on quick enough because they telling. They telling on everybody. They telling from 2-3 years ago. Oh, yeah, this so-and-so. I'm like, but then, you know, when you catch them out in the street, oh, I'm hard. Dude, shut up. I seen you. When the boys in the jump out van came up on you, you couldn't talk quick enough. I thought you were speaking a foreign language. You were talking so fast. But everybody want to say, I'm a gangster this, I'm a gangster that. Then what you doing as gangster? You destroying your race. But yet still, you passing on bad information because you swear at the white man. Because as they say, ain't no white boy selling dope in the hood. Not a one. So, you know, the whole thing, we don't bring no dope over here. You're right. We don't bring no dope over here, but we stupid enough to take it to our own neighborhood and blame somebody else for it. Go sell dope in Alpharetta. Go sell dope in Forsyth County. Go sell dope somewhere else. If you're a gangster, spread your wings and fly. Just come on, grab a Bible, put your hand on it and say, hey, I'm a punk. And then we good. Tell the truth and, you know, shame the devil. You're a punk because all you want to do is pick on people who are less fortunate. They're down on their luck. They're trying to thing. You sneaking stuff in their drink. You're a punk, dude. Plain and simple. You're 30, you're 40 years old. You're hanging around 14 to 15-year-old girls. You know, you're an R. Kelly wannabe. And then y'all like R. Kelly, fuck you too. But you're R. Kelly wannabe because that's all you want is a teenage girl. You know what I'm saying? But you instead of hollering how hard you are, you this, you that, I'll never be you. I'll never work for the white man. Yeah, that's on you. That's why, you know, you 40 still trying to buy a fucking pair of Jordans. No 40-year-old man should be standing no damn line for no $300 sneakers. That falls under stupid.
Yeah, no, that's some stuff. Yeah, it's something like you said, at some point you got to grow up past some stuff. But you want to go ahead and take this break, do this truth be told right now?
Yeah, but before we take this break, what are we doing on the 26th again? We're going to be at Mango's, which is at 180 Auburn Avenue.
Yeah, we'll actually be there for your show, and then we'll be going right into the she said, he said relationship discussion. Well, we'll have the fellas answering the questions for the ladies and talking about what it is, you know, what it's really about, how this thing really rolling.
Just tell them, I'm going to have me some of that rum punch on a designated ground, so don't ask me shit if you don't want to know the truth. Now, let's take this break, bro. Let's take this break, bro. I'm going to have me a designated driver because I'm having me two glasses of that rum punch.
All right, on the break.
This is my first time ever in Dayton, and I'm loving it. Thank y'all, for real. So, I was saying, y'all make sure, nothing else, get a card, say hi, or something. Everybody that put something in the bucket, I appreciate it. The picture, what that container there. Thank y'all. I'm gonna do one more piece, and it kind of curtails off of what you did as far as like with the whole thing. Like, y'all ever seen the shirts that say "Stop Snitching"? It's like the dumbest shit on earth, ain't it? See, I'm from Saginaw, Michigan, and according to the FBI, since 2003, it's been the most dangerous city in America. Not in 2003, since 2003. And you still got cats walking around with these shirts, and I lost too many people from high school while in high school to this. So this is just my response to that, and I'm gonna close out tonight with this, all right? You know what? Yes, you have the right to remain silent, but it ain't right to remain silent. Especially when neighborhoods remain violent and those who try to fight it and don't stay quiet are labeled snitch. But this ain't the goddamn Sopranos. And you don't win a Tony for any song or dance you try to portray while you say snitches get stitches. Because the only ones in stitches are those laughing at us as they ask, how can we be so dumb? Snitch. No matter how you spell it, silence nowadays is taking communities hostage. And this nonsense, this quasi-mafioso garbage has become the constant our kids have grown fond of. So how the fuck do I remain silent when violence invades our nights and days, preys in our minds and stays inside of our souls and decays? And nowadays, I question the source of this vibe. Bragging about holding magazines, yet too blind to read the issues. Acting all double XL while leaving the streets with those small, sad songs. You know, the one whose soundtrack is a gun clap, serenaded by sirens and distraught mothers crying, ending in the final breath of one young soul dying. Can you hear it? See, I would wish for you to read in between the lines, but niggas don't like reading. So keep on believing it's some big old coincidence that neighborhoods just like yours have more liquor stores than churches. Keep believing that it ain't on purpose that 10% of the population accounts for 53% of the prisoners in our nation. Shh. Just keep quiet. Even though closed mouths don't get fed, which leads to starvation, which leaves you dead, you would instead earn street credibility. But tell me I don't understand. Even though I come from Saginaw, Michigan, a land where ice cream was sold more than ice cream. Keep telling me how it's so hard out here. You trying to get in where you fit in and how everybody trying to stop your shine as you redefine your life by what Jeezy and Wayne said it should be. See, for those of y'all that don't know, a snitch, by definition, is one who sells another one out in order to avoid time in prison. Yet here you are giving away your community. One block at a time. One Glock at a time. One rock at a time. And don't even start trying to tell me how you can get a brick it and flip it and distribute it for double the profit minus the re-up and not see what that same time could do had it not been applied to a degree in math, chemistry, or business. Ain't no difference. Ain't no difference. They all include thought, dedication, and deadlines, but you would instead try to shield your stupidity, telling me you trying to hold down your peeps, unaware of the irony in the statement you just made. See, you don't want me to tell you the truth because you already know it. And talking about things like this brings life to something that a bullet can't kill. See, your life ain't worth living if there's nothing to die for. That is what I write for. So maybe if you tried more to change your living, you wouldn't transfix your position into calling other people snitches. Those of us who work hard for a living, instead of living off that hard and that work. And it hurts that your worth ain't dirt as you search for places where crack is sold and cracks in souls make those supposed growth ain't an option. You need to stop, man, because if you've been listening, you know by now, you the real bitch that's snitching. But better yet, in closing, let me put it this way to you. If niggas knew niggas weren't niggas, then what would niggas do? My name is Truth Be Told. Thank you for your time.
Man, y'all can do better than that for sure. red snapper, shrimp,
tofu, and rasta pasta?
Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m.
Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock
In downtown Atlanta.
For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992.
Or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com.
For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant.
Authentic Caribbean cuisines.
And we are back live with Random Thoughts with DVP.
And it's DvP again. And I'm going the wrong way. So yeah. Hey man, so we was talking during the break about the craziest of crazy shows. And I'm just so fed up with these retarded black reality shows. Actually all of them, but I just stopped watching them. And I can't figure out. I know you were saying they came out and banned, or they stopped showing, what was it, Sorority Sisters, Sorority Brothers, AKA Gone Wild. What was the name of the show they banned?
Yeah, sorority. I think Sorority Sisters is the name of it, but apparently VH1, they're doing what they're called canning the final episodes, meaning they're just running them at some random time just to get them. Because apparently, I'm assuming that because of advertisers that they did keep on there or whatever, they have to run. Some of these shows they've got to run all of them, because if somebody brought a full 7 episodes, right, and they didn't cash them checks, so so they have to run all 7 of those episodes, and what they're doing is that they pick some random time to run the last 3 episodes, and so it's assuming that they're not going to be renewing it or whatever. So I think folks are going to be proud of themselves for getting rid of that. I mean, here's the funny thing. I can definitely, being a member of a fraternity, I can definitely understand why, from an organizational standpoint, you don't want to be associated with the ratchetness that turns into reality TV, and making that the depiction of what the majority of your members like, because whether we want to agree with it or not, that's what people think. Now, with that being said, here comes the problem. They don't want it from an organizational standpoint, but now they have to realize, though, that that's what people are seeing with these other shows, though. And they're clumping that just in black women in general. These reality shows, people are looking at these reality shows, and if people don't associate with very many black people, they think that's how black women act.
It is.
Black women.
It is.
Look at you.
But I'm just saying, but that's the thing. If you portray the image, once again, what do we talk about? When these ratchet shows on, if you're on Facebook, your timeline gets flooded because they flock into these shows. And this sorority show, sister, what do you think the real reason was that it's been moved? Do you think because the sorority stood up against it and said, hey, and they called in some favors? Because some of these sororities got tons of pull. I mean, they kind of like mafias.
Well, they didn't call in favors. No, they started boycotting, and they were going after the organizations started promoting to their members that anybody that advertises on this show, you back away from. And now, if there's one group of consumers that you don't never want to get mad at you, it's women, regardless of whether they're black, white, or whatever. When you get women mad at you, they be like, okay, women spending more money than anybody else is. So,
right, but the fraternities got together, and they called in, they pulled in all their cards and made it happen. But we won't do that. We won't make ratchet shows stop. We keep promoting them, and watching them, because if we stop, they'll stop.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
you can't want a more positive image of us because, and they were saying back in our day, we had the Cosby Show, we had Living Single, we had shows that didn't show ratchetness all the time. Even shows like Good Times or The Jeffersons, they weren't ratchet. Even Archie Bunker's Racing, it wasn't a ratchet show. So it's us. I mean, you can't blame it on nobody else. We promote these shows. We help keep them afloat. We watch them in record numbers. Oh, Real Housewives they set a record for most watched up. Really? I can't even, like I said, I watched it because I wanted to see who Peter was. I watched it when they said something about Apollo, when they was like a man lying on his dick, because I just didn't know men really did that on TV. This is film, so you know you're on TV, so why would you lie on TV? You know what I'm saying? If you're going to lie in the privacy of your own home, but don't care about the proof of this proof.
What he lied about?
He admitted that the Miss America chick never did hit on him.
Oh, okay.
That he just said that the nigga's wife mad.
Oh, okay. Never heard about that one, but okay. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, because somebody said some side of his wife, I was like, man, I said, and he really said, I mean, dude, you know you on TV. I mean, you losing all your street cred, hood cred, color cred. They should just cancel everything you got.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely got to do better with some of our stuff, but hey, I ain't one of the people like to say that we just sit and talk about it, because we actually in the process of producing some shows, so we gonna have some stuff coming out that people can get into. So we not doing reality TV. So even if you do reality TV, if you know what you got, I mean, at some point you gotta want a quality product. I mean, because we all say what we want to do for money, what we don't do for money. Money, I ain't gonna let money do this, but that's exactly what they doing. So, and my thing is, honestly, nobody know what your financial situation is. If you're down on your luck and you're about to be home or whatever, and somebody offers you $50,000 to be ratchet, you know what? Take the $50,000 and be ratchet. Just accept it. Don't try to pass it off as nothing else. Right.
Because if I'm on the verge of being homeless and somebody say, hey, man, I'll pay you $50, I'll do some ratchet stuff every day for 6 weeks. Guess what? Every day for 6 weeks, we're going to be doing some ratchet stuff.
We're going to be doing some ratchet stuff, exactly. But you know what? And that's the one thing I got to do, that I have to give props when we actually met Peter. And we had a chance, because I didn't know, because I didn't watch the show, so I didn't know who he was. But
right.
he was like, dude, it's TV. He's like, this is what we do. We're actors at this point.
That's how we get paid.
And he said he's like, no, I'm not gonna go around acting like that. He said, and that's and he's saying that on the air. It was like, people got to realize that. You talk about how scripted this stuff is. So I mean, it's if you, as long as you can separate it, I think that's the part of it that people are missing, because so many of these people, they're gaining fame from these shows that they're taking on the life of who the characters are that they're playing.
Right. There's no separation between on and off. There's no on and off switch.
Right, because it's like, dude, you ain't nothing like that, but hey, that's the image that you all of a sudden like this image that people are putting out, that they this image that they created for you. You like it so much. Well, I'm gonna change my life to make my life this image that. And it's just like, that's just stupid.
But that's just how people are. I mean, even like, and it's crazy, even like with this show, and I try to tell people who've never met me, and you're a prime example. When we first met, I was probably one of the fastest walking dudes you ever saw. I don't stop and talk to people. I tell people, even when you ask me to do so, I never want to do it because I didn't want to talk on the radio. Are you like that? No, I'm not. This is radio. This is what you asked me to do. This is a job. Once I get off this radio, I don't want to do the same stuff no more. Yeah, there's some things that come up that for radio purposes, when I want to spark conversation, yeah, I may take an aggressive stand. But this is still a show. This is Random Thoughts with DvP. There's a reason we don't call it by my government name, because we're two separate people. DvP is a radio personality, a Facebook personality, but DvP is not a real person. He doesn't pay taxes. He doesn't vote. He just speaks. He can speak what's on his mind when people say stuff. He can be confrontational and challenging, but in real life, he's nothing like that. Not unless you just jump into his world. I mean, I put on my suit and I walk fast. And I smiled. And I mean, when we met, what did you see me always doing? And I like to talk sports.
Right. Speaking of sports, man, had a chance. Ray hooked us up with some folks. Game X downtown, right across the street from the aquarium, which I still have yet to go to. But yeah, we're working with your boy Antoine over that way. He's helping us put some stuff together. So we trying to push something for Super Bowl right quick. We waiting to hear back from it here in the next few days, hopefully, and we're gonna see what we can get going. But we definitely are working on being there on a regular basis.
And speaking of Super Bowl, I did see your post. I just want to say I appreciate it because you were talking about your boys hiring all them Jets people and they should be hiring Patriot people, even though you hate the Patriots.
No, hey, business is business. No, business is business. Like,
it's right. Business is business.
Like, you're right. I can't stand the damn Patriots, but that means we need to go up there and figure out what the hell they doing so we can start being hated like they being hated. It's like,
but you keep hiring Jets people who ain't never won that.
Right, I'm like, you hired a nigga that got fired from the Jets. Oh my God, are you stupid? I'm like, how you hire somebody that got fired from the Jets in the last 5 years? They are the worst.
And you know what? I was watching the game and it hit me. You know who else is being sabotaged, man? And everybody talk about Ray Fry, but you know who else was extremely sabotaged? Cam.
Oh,
and the Panthers. I'm like, okay, so I'm watching, you know, the playoff weekend. Okay, so I'm watching the Ravens, who have Steve Smith, and I know I understand why they let Steve Smith go because they have a little rip between him and Cam. I get that, but then you got Brandon LaFleur, who they didn't even want. He's starting with the Patriots and making an impact. Ted Ginn was your deep threat, and you know he doesn't have the greatest hands, but he can catch. He did make some plays. How do all your starting receivers end up in the playoffs, but you can't keep not one of them? You couldn't keep one of them? So you left Cam with no receivers, no line, an overpriced running back, and you really, I mean, when I look at it from hindsight, he was set up to fail. He shouldn't even take a hometown discount because they left him with nothing, even though the record sucked. He still did it when it counted. But you left him with a rookie. I mean, how many rookies come in with no veteran receiver to help get them through? And I forgot the other guy's name, who's Jericho Cosby. And really, Jericho Cosby played for all 32 teams and 12 in the CFL. Really? So he's got Greg Olsen. I mean, they got a hell of defense. But damn, I look at him like, man, they set Cam up to fail big time. Yeah, you gave him absolutely nothing. You gave him a bowl of grits and no water.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I think the same thing. I think a similar situation is gonna end up happening with your boy Robert Griffin. I don't think he's gonna be in Washington. I think Dan Snyder done bought into Jay Gruden, and you know like they were talking about. I mean, dude has not been healthy, and then when he gets semi-healthy, you take away all of the help that he did have. You know, the year that they did make it to the playoffs and went deep his rookie year. He no longer has any of those people, you know, those offensive weapons that he was having there. You got a piecemeal line together. And then you're expecting him to still do the same things that he did and coming in, like I said, off you know, one of the most difficult situations to come back from. So it's just like, yeah, I think he's gonna be gone. I just don't think he's gonna stay in Washington anyway. I think they're gonna let him go.
That's all right.
Okay. So.
Well, and you know what? I got a whole different take on that because I watched the game and the guy said something really important. If you watch Cam get sacked, if you watch RG3 get sacked, you don't ever see his lineman coming and help him up. And I think he's burnt a lot of bridges because you never see quarterback get sacked and one of the linemen ain't there to help him up, make sure they're okay. But Robert Griffin get knocked down and ain't nobody coming to him. So I don't know what it is he did, but he had to do something. That's not a coaching issue. That's a personality issue because
so you think
whenever you're in
the locker room,
I think he lost a lot of stuff because, like I said, you watch it. It's kind of like a basketball game. If a fight starts and people don't come off the bench, that tells you a lot about the person that started the fight. because people gonna just come off because hey, we teammates, we in this together. Like I said, I watched a couple of games and I'm watching Griffin get sacked and he got to pick himself up. That never happens in the NFL. That never happens.
Yeah, and especially not for a quarterback that is considered a franchise quarterback.
Right. You got 5 guys who get paid to protect you regardless. One of them is usually always around to help you up. And I just, like I said, I watched a couple of games and nobody's helping him up. Nobody's pushing guys off of him or anything. He's just like, whatever. Well, I'm like,
I would say, let's stay on the sports line. Did you see the pseudo fight with Dwight and KG?
Hey man, and you know what? I'm a diehard KG fan. I don't care what nobody say. I mean, I'm KG all the way. When he went to the Phillies, it was like one of the greatest days of my life. But you know, Dwight Howard is a HC alien. Here.
But hold on. No. And I'm a KG fan too. Always have loved KG's game. Always have loved the energy that he brings to the game. But just like I said on a post on Facebook, KG been headbutting people for a long damn time, and he don't never really want to fight. You know, he that cat in the league that's selling a bunch of wolf tickets, but he don't never want to fight. Because, you know, he the only person I have ever seen been able to jump up at somebody and backwards at the same time. So he's like coming at you and moving away from you simultaneously. Because I think more than anything, after he headbutted Dwight, and Dwight reached up and slapped him, I think it caught him on guard more than anything else.
No, I think he was mad because, you know the rule, man. You don't slap a man. If you're going to hit me, punch me. And he's like, don't hit me like a man. I think he's trying to spark him into being at some point, Dwight has got to step up and be a man. Dude, it's like with Shaq. You didn't mess around and play in Shaq because Shaq was going to jab you. Shaq wasn't going to slap you. Shaq was going to get his in. Dwight Howard, for all that chisel he got, still plays soft. And people don't respect him. Right. I mean, how many people you see start, after the first couple of times somebody jumped in Shaq's face, people stop jumping in Shaq's face because Shaq wasn't in the bag down. Shaq was like, okay, if you think you want some of this, come on, let go.
Right.
And don't nobody respect Dwight Howard like that. He's not a threat. I mean, it's like when they showed the guy, I forgot the guy's name. He was messing with one guy, and Stephen A. Smith said, you know what? Kevin Garnett ain't gonna do it because that's not the guy. Everybody know who will and won't fight for real. Everybody knows who will and won't fight for real. Like you didn't see people jumping in Ron Artest's face. You didn't see people jumping in Dennis Rodman's face. Because some people are like, hey, man, if that's what you want, you know what I'm saying? The basketball, this is one game I'm going to get suspended for. Let get our money worth. But all that woofing and huffing and puffing, nah. Dwight Howard he don't strike fear in nobody.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, that's
the truth be told, he's not an elite player. He where's he won? Well, but you know what? I mean, I like I said, man, I think we disagree on that because that's just one of those things. I think in basketball, especially in basketball, is one of those situations where you can be an elite player and not have won championships because you're still because those are teams. I mean, to me, I mean, really, I guess you can say it for all sports, but you know, basketball and football are team sports because, like, I don't care what nobody say. Let's get it real. Not the Clippers, but Cleveland is not winning the championship this year. They are not going to win it, and they arguably have the best player on the planet on their team. Just like the first year he was in Miami, they couldn't win. Come on, man, stop tripping. So you know, you got LeBron there, and they give him his thing. But teams win in certain sports, and when I think in basketball it's more pronounced when you have good teams because those teams are consistent in what they do and how they do it. So when people come, just like the Patriots. When people come to New England, they've been taking people from everybody else's teams. Yeah, y'all took 2 Dolphins and made them look like they was world beaters. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they fit into a system. The system is bigger than the individual pieces. Even the quarterback. Hell, they was able to substitute
Matt Castle, wasn't it Matt Castle that they got paid all that money? Because everybody was like, shoot, they put him in New England, and he kept doing it. He's setting records, throwing touchdowns, got to wherever he was, and lost off to a third-round drafted rookie. You know what I'm saying? So, those are systems. When you have those teams, there are some teams that are always going to be better. And when you have those teams, they will stop players from being able to win. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Another thing, I don't personally think that the Thunder are ever going to be able to get past San Antonio as long as they're in. Well, once Tim and maybe Tony Parker leaves, maybe they'll have a year window when they transitioning their people in to the leadership of their new people. But that's going to be the problem that the Thunder have. I think there are always going to be better teams in the West because they only have they don't have a full team. They got Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
But it's not about championships, though, Roy. I'm saying because I'm going to still stick with Dan Marino's greatest quarterback ever, based on pure talent. It's about who can take and say, okay, get on my back. LeBron's failure wasn't that he didn't win a championship. LeBron's failure was that he always disappeared in the fourth quarter. Once he started playing, you lose a lot of that because what did everybody call him? You know what I'm saying? He was going to play. Everybody, he wasn't going to play all the game. Dwight Howard, for all that muscle mass that he got, has never just put a team on his shoulders and said, I got this.
Well, no, he did, but they ended up losing. He did it. He did it
that 1 year in Orlando.
That 1 year in Orlando, he was able to do it then. And see, Dwight, I'm gonna tell you something. I was in Orlando most of his career when he was there. Well, I was in Orlando the whole time he was there. He did not have the players on that team to help him after that first year. They lost like 3 key pieces right after that year. And those Orlando never recovered from. They never got him players that they needed to. I mean, because what was the hope? The hope was that Grant Hill was going to come in and was going to be that thing. They let Grant Hill. Grant Hill really should have been the FBI, the Department of Defense, the CIA. Everybody should have arrested Grant Hill for espionage, for grand theft, grand larceny, for that $100 whatever million he took from Orlando and gave them nothing.
But everybody who Penny got hurt there. So I mean, it was something in Orlando water.
No, he got hurt before. He got hurt before he got there. And what they didn't do is they didn't let him take the whole year and a half to 2 years off that he needed to rehab and to come back ready like he did. He left Orlando. What does he do? He leaves Orlando and goes to and helps take a team to the playoffs. He left. Where did he go? It wasn't Phoenix. God, where did he? Yes, it was. Was it in Phoenix? He left Orlando and went somewhere and helped take that team to the playoffs. But that's what I'm saying. Orlando wouldn't do the stuff that they needed to do. I think it was ownership with Orlando. They just had some other issues. But I'm kind of mad right now because I'm watching all these other NBA teams and people making moves, and the Dawn is kind of worrying me because they ain't, the Godfather ain't making no moves. I ain't seen Miami trying to trade. Whether or not I don't know if anybody wants to trade with us, but we may.
Don't nobody want Dwayne Wade. Don't nobody want. I mean, and
he ain't going nowhere.
Right, but don't nobody want him anywhere. Don't nobody want him. But let's get back to the greatest. Let's get back to the greatest franchise in sports. Let's talk about the Patriots. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
It's so good to be the host. Is there any quarterback in the NFL that does more with less? Any? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because even though you hate them, I respect the fact that you at least will give credit where credit is due. Is there any? I mean, don't get me wrong. I always said the great white hope Peyton Manning was highly overrated because if you put him on a team with regular people, I guarantee you he won't be throwing 30 touchdown passes because he's a scrub. He can do it when you surround him with all pro talent, which is where he's always had, which is why he picked Denver over San Francisco. Because he needs offensive weapons. He don't care about the defense. And he's selfish. And he got his leg hurt, whatever. So why not sit out a couple of weeks? You know what I'm saying? Quit making excuses for him. When Brady was sucking at the beginning of the year, he's done. He came back. You know, Peyton is still the share. Peyton is a loser. Tried and true. Anybody who saw the Super Bowl saw that. The man acted like he had never seen pigskin before in his life. That was the worst. I mean, come on. If you're supposed to be an all-world quarterback, can you name 3 quarterbacks who played worse than him in the Super Bowl? And you're a football fan.
Yeah, no. He had one of them games.
And you had it at the worst possible time ever.
Yeah.
Ever? I mean, even that you're the Pigs and went to the Super Bowl, the quarterbacks look better than him. I mean, he was just there. And then against the Colts, who are not known for their defensive pressure, because when he throwing touchdown passes, wasn't about to make an excuse for him. Oh, now he can't throw them. Oh, see what? And if you hurt, why not run the ball more? I mean, when everybody talking about Peyton can't get in rhythm because they run the ball too much. Well, I'm gonna stick with my greatest quarterback in the game today. Last time the Patriots played the Colts, Tom threw like 12 passes because he just kept running the ball. Because great quarterbacks don't have to throw 50 times a game, which is all Peyton wants, so he can have all the records. Because he's selfish. And if you look at him over the years, can't nobody ever tell me he's ever wanted to run the ball. Because he don't. He's not going to do what it takes to win. He's going to do whatever it takes to make Peyton look good. And you've been playing 1,000 years, and you ain't never tried to renegotiate your salary for the betterment of the team. Because he could have stayed with Indianapolis if he'd have been willing to renegotiate his salary. Ain't nobody going to give you $20 million. They don't know what's up. That's just pure selfishness. And he's a selfish dude. I don't like him. I ain't going to never like him. His brother's a better clutch quarterback. That's why he got 2 Super Bowls, even though he beat my team. Peyton is a screw-up. He's highly overrated. And, he's seen this. You can't fool him with this. You can't fool him with that. Whatever. I'm thinking, did y'all see the Super Bowl? Did y'all see what the Rams did? I mean, and when were the Rams ever considered a great team this year? All the teams who just, come on, and he's surrounded by talent. All of a sudden, Demaryius can't get open. You can't hit Emmanuel, whatever his name is. Come on. Everybody play through pain. This time of year, everybody's injured. Ain't nobody 100%. And he got excuses. Right. Come on. And this debate, y'all still making excuses for him? I mean, won't nobody say how horrible he looked the other day? Horrible.
Well, all I know, like I said about your boy, is they got a great system there. Tom Brady, I don't take nothing away from Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a good quarterback.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, no. He's not good. I mean,
blah blah.
Hey man, let me go on strike.
Like I said, y'all have a system that is unparalleled in the NFL because y'all took Matt Castle and made him look like Tom Brady. So no. And when I say, you know what, I tell people I don't mind using the word good. I'll call somebody a good quarterback because I think that there are a lot of very mediocre quarterbacks in the NFL. And for me, when you say great, I mean, y'all got the rings. I think Tom Brady has been a really good quarterback in he's been a really good quarterback in a great system.
Hey man, put the haterade down and come on back. Put the haterade down.
It ain't no haterade, dog. I'm telling you, he's been a very good quarterback. He's gonna get. No, I don't think he would. No, I don't think Tom Brady would not have been that good in another place. Him and Bill Belichick were made for each other, and it worked out to the best for them.
No, and this is why I disagree with anybody who says that, because he has consistently been surrounded with underachievers, and he made them look better.
To me, that's the system. That's not him. That's the system. Right,
but who still got to make the throw?
And that's why I say he's very good. He is very good at what he does.
That one year he was with Randy Moss, they were unstoppable. That wasn't a system. That was a quarterback to receiver throwing catch. That's just pitch and catch. Because anybody can throw, anybody can catch. But when you can put both of them together, that's personality. They was breaking records, and it was their first year playing together. That's why I say he can play in any system.
You got a very good quarterback and arguably one of the greatest receivers in the history of the league from a talent standpoint.
But
all you had to do was throw the ball up in the air, Randy.
Who else threw that many touchdown passes with it? Nobody. And he even made Wes Welker look good. And what did I tell you? Wes Welker is highly overrated. Once you take him out of our system and you put him with the Broncos, the Broncos, which is why they'll never win, the Broncos had the two biggest chokers on the same team at the same time. You got the two biggest chokers. You'll never win. You got to have somebody who's clutch. And going back to the Broncos, because I know, my friend ain't listening because he gonna talk to me no more. And I try to tell him, what are they two edge rushers? DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller are highly overrated. What were they saying? Did anybody see them play? Anybody? Because the Colts ain't got no great offensive line. They don't even have a very good offensive line. Did anybody see Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware? Anybody? And everybody was talking about, the Broncos got them a defense this year. You can't buy a defense. That's a gelling. That's a gelling process. Come on, you got stomped by the coach. With all these defenders that you done paid all these big bucks to, who can't stop nobody. And then Jack Del Rio decided to put, everybody knows Keith Lee had trouble with short pass guys. So why not put your best corner, Chris Harris, on him? No, you put Talib on him. Not Talib. There's a reason that we didn't fight to keep Talib. And as you like to say, when the Patriots don't want somebody, you need to look at why they don't want them. Every now and then Bill Belichick make a mistake and let somebody go a year or two too early, but not often. We didn't even put up a fight to keep Talib. We was like, all right, see you. Because you're not good in the court.
Yeah, like I said, I give it to you. Bill Belichick, I mean, the hoodie is probably one of those rare football minds. And and I made this point to somebody the other day. I was like, it's interesting because it seems like his scheme. It's like he has 30 different schemes. What is it? 29. How many ever his team? There's 31 teams in the league, right? Or is it 32?
It's 32. Yeah, 32 teams.
Okay, right. He got 31 schemes every year. It's like they go through and they look at exactly what every team has done, what they brought in, and they build a scheme when they play those teams specifically for that team.
Right.
And that's what they do. They get caught slipping, like they got caught slipping with us. Because I don't think people did two things that people didn't expect for us at the beginning of the year. They didn't expect that No. Sean Marino was really going to be effective, and they did not expect. I don't know why they didn't expect our defense to be really good. I don't know. Because we had been in the last 2 years, we had been in like the top 10 or top 15, and this was their third year in the system. So the defense was going to be good before we started getting people hurt. But they normally, it's like nothing surprises them when they play. And that's all coaching. That is 100% coaching. But it seems like you go into it in every game, you are prepared for everything that's going to come up.
But the thing is if you're going to catch a slip, and I tell everybody, that's why I didn't worry about it. The first 4 to 6 games, he's still experimenting with stuff. Other than the year we went 16-0, we never start off fast. Because he's still playing around he's still testing stuff out. Because remember, the year before the Bills beat us. The year before that, I think the Jets beat us. We always lose to a team we shouldn't because that's just what we do. But come November, December, January, ain't nobody better.
Yeah.
Who we are.
Blah, 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 blah. We ain't gonna talk about the Patriots. So
all right, so who you got this weekend? Green Bay and Seattle.
Yeah, Green Bay and Seattle. And they're playing they're in Seattle, right?
They're in Seattle.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna be real honest with you because I think Green Bay should have lost to Dallas. If Aaron Rodgers can't move, like he needs to, I don't see them being able to beat Seattle, and not especially not in Seattle. So I'm actually going to take the I'm going to take the Seahawks to go back and
New England and Indianapolis.
Yeah, I know. You know, as much as I hate y'all, I'm really thinking that I'm gonna see a changing of the guard. I think that your boy Andrew Luck is actually gonna come out, and I think this will be one of the few times that Tom Brady actually gets outplayed. I really think that that's what's gonna happen. I really think this is gonna be one of those times that Tom Brady actually gets outplayed, and that they and that he doesn't, that they don't win. I think Indianapolis is gonna go. I think Indianapolis is gonna go to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're gonna win it, but I think they're gonna have enough energy and adrenaline that I think they're gonna be able to pull out a win in New England.
So you picking Indy and New England over you?
Yeah, man, I am. I'm telling you. I think they're feeling really good about themselves right now. And
to Baltimore.
Yeah, no, then whatever. I didn't pay that much attention to Baltimore, so. But yeah, man. So I mean, I'm sure you got your boys winning at home, but who you taking out of the Seattle Green Bay game?
I would love for it to be Green Bay so we could get our revenge, but I just don't see them beating Seattle.
Okay. All right. Well, DVP, we're going to go ahead and, I guess on that note with the Super Bowl picks, we're going to go ahead and shut it down.
All right. Well, we know what the plan is for next week in 2 weeks. But, yeah, put the thing on the page, because I need to start sending it out. I know you put it up. I just need to copy it and send it out. So we're going to be at the 20. In 2 weeks, we're going to be at 180 Auburn Avenue, Mangoes.
Mangoes, yeah. And you know what? I may actually do a lunch day down there. I was going to get with you about that one day next week. I may do a lunch day where I come down there and maybe do one of my my groove session shows just to kind of hype people up and get folks out there a little early on some stuff. Get folks to come through for lunch. I'm going to see if I can get them to drop us a lunch special and lay that down, and then we'll come out and we'll let folks check us out a little early before that. So maybe next week we'll work that out.
Okay, we'll make that happen. So I'm looking forward to that. But we'll be back next week. 6 hours, 6 to 8, 22 hours.
You know how it goes, homie.
And we'll go from there. As always, it's been real. It's been fun. You've been listening to real random thoughts from DVP. My producer Roy, the shit man.
What we started doing and became a part of. So it's like.
Well, I was just gonna run the regular one, but if you wanna, I didn't pull a bunch of other stuff down, so.
Yeah, I'm not have a theme song, so just play whatever, and then I need to go and get me a theme song that I can close out the show with. Let me marinate on that for a week.
All right, Chief.
All right, man. I'll let you next week.
All right, folks.
Cheese popcorn and chicken grease.
At the end of the day, no matter what, I know when I go see Drew Hill, I'm going to get what I need.
I would agree with that. I mean, even from, in my bed and Enter the Drew and the lyrics that you guys had, I think, especially from a